Assalamu alaikum. My name is Salim Siddiqui, and thanks for watching this continuing series on the hotconflict.com website. We're talking about the unseen world and giving disclosures and information. And like I always tell you, you hear some strange and weird, wild stuff, and I'm talking about the sunnah, or the method of understanding the life of the Prophet Muhammad, and giving it to you in a tale that is going to disclose all kinds of information, because there's weird, wild talk on the internet, and amongst many of the different people, from inside of the governments of all the secret communities, to all the esoteric societies, to all the light communities and light workers, and all my spiritual brothers out there, within the earth, on the surface of the earth, and within the skies. We're talking to people on all levels and all dimensions at the same time, and we're telling a strange and weird, wild tale at this very moment, and we're describing what happened to the final prophet of the light, where we said that we are telling a tale of every single prophet, and therefore each prophet plays a certain role, and we've gotten to the part of the last messenger, and in his tale should be the indication of what's going to happen. And we just talked about his ascension process, and we described his ascension, and we said it was in physicality, and we showed how it was connected to all the other prophets in the story, and we described why it is important that it was in physicality, because there was some difference of opinion amongst people on the last prophet of whether the prophet Jesus, son of Mary, died and then resurrected or ascended, and what actually happened. And there's difference of opinion, and there are some Christians who claim one thing, and there are Christians who say another. As Muslims, we are telling you plainly and simply that he wasn't killed, nor was he crucified, but many people did think that was the case. But there were those who understood that he went through an ascension process and did witness that process for him. And we said that the prophet then went on his ascension process in physicality and then proved it. And we talked about some of the spiritual concepts behind the Temple of Solomon and being sent on the ascension to 7 levels of the heaven, seeing the higher Kaaba and the connection to sacred geometry with the Kaaba and the Kaaba in physicality, and the connection between the lower self and the higher self, and that if there is a higher self for a structure of light, then of course there is a higher self for you. Well, of course you kind of should know that, especially Muslim brothers and sisters, when you know that Allah, the Lord Most High, is going to show you not just what you have done, but everything you thought of doing, everything you could have done, everything you might have done. You will be shown on the day all of the other possibilities, all the other realities, and knowing that, it should help you understand that if there is many realities, you should be able to switch between them. But this is a conversation for another day. We're talking about the story of the prophet and the importance of the prophet's ascension, and saying that one of the most important fundamentals that many Muslims have not grasped is that if you truly believe in the final messenger, just like if you truly believed in Jesus, son of Mary, they both told you you could ascend. Now we said different people saw different things. Now we have 2 specific prophets that have ascended. One who has ascended and is going to come back at a later date, being Jesus, and one who has ascended and returned in physicality and told us about it. And the documents to support that are numerous amongst the Muslim sources. So we have an ascension pattern established by the final messenger. Does that mean that those of us who believe can ascend if we choose to? Is there a limitation on your belief? Or do you believe that you love the messenger enough that you could follow his ascension sunnah? I leave that decision up to you. But we go back to his life at the hardest moment. Something happened. Something that was about to make a great change. When the earth was at its darkest, when the believers were lost and wishing for a change, when the believers were hoping something would be different, when the community was against them and the boycott had gotten terrible, and when the moment seemed so dark, a community from the north, from the city of Yathrib, hearing the truth in this land, came and said, we are willing to welcome you to come with us and teach your teaching to our people. We recognize that you know the truth. And so a migration occurs. A migration occurs of believers from Mecca, the city of light that has been mired in the darkness, to Medina or Yathrib, what will now be called the city of light, the city of the prophet. Oh, my brothers and sisters of the light, did you not know that the city Medina means the city of light, as established by the final light worker, the Prophet Muhammad, to be the capital of light for the final messengership? Sorry to be so vehement and tell you this, but it's so clear once you know the story, and I know many of you didn't see it, and it's nice for me to be able to tell it to you that way. So the new city is created, and the new pattern is established. Now, one of the things that happens is Muslims have to go in hiding because they don't want to be noticed. They don't want to be killed. So they slowly start traveling north. And the Prophet himself is wondering about what he should do. And it is at this time, this critical moment, in the light and the dark, where things can go terribly bad. We know that Jesus, son of Mary, approached this moment and knew that it was time for his ascension, and that things changed on the earth, and the crucifixion pattern began to be seen by those who saw it, and that Jesus, son of Mary, ascended from the earth, and we got led into a period of loss for many people, but a period of life and light for those who understood the truth. Well, something was about to happen for the change in Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. The community was hunted. And just at that moment, the leaders of the tribes of Quraysh, of paganism, of tradition, against monotheism, against the law of one, against the truth of Allah, against the fundamentals that we are telling you, against the story of light, against the sacred pattern of geometry, against the truth of all of us that are one, are telling you, they've tried to kill him. And so they gathered together, all from each tribe, an assassin with a spear, that all planned to hunt him down at night and assassinate him together so the blame would be spread. And that night, the Prophet's cousin, Ali, radiallahu anh, slept in his bed as a decoy. And at a certain moment, the Prophet, understanding the pattern and matrix, recited a verse. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Place in front of them a shield or a barrier, and behind them a shield and a barrier, and cloak them so that they don't see. Oh, my brothers and sisters, the power of invisibility or cloaking for a being of the light is not to shield yourself, but it is that others are shielded from you because you have raised your vibration to a level that they can't perceive you. You have raised your light so light that they don't even see you. You are raising your vibration higher, and they are barred from seeing you. Beings of the light, we do not shield or cover ourselves. A'udhu billah. No, we show ourselves. Nothing is hidden from us. We are of the light. We are of the one. We see all that is below us. We see that which is going on.